Almost ready to go, it seems. All right, a mulligan to 5 for Bobby, and we are ready to go. Mulligan to 5 for Bobby. Phil kept 7. Bayou. Nethergoyf.
Chaos Bomber. Sure.
Ponder off a volcanic island for Force of Phil. Very interesting. Char Twin has arrived, saying hello to Monka in the chat. Yeah, make sure you say hello to Monka in the chat, everybody, please.
Go ahead.
Another 0-1 Nethergoyf.
All right, another 0-1 Nethergoyf. Bobby did mulligan to 5, so maybe struggling to get started a bit here, but has the 2 creatures on the board. We've seen Nethergoyfs get very big very quickly on 90s MTG live stream, so it's not all bad. Has 2 creatures on the board. Lorien revealed gets island cycled. Force of Phil finds a Tundra, plays it.
Yeah.
Gets flying too.
Sure. Go ahead.
Force of Phil resolving another Ponder here. Force of Phil understands that the Nethergoyfs on the other side could get large enough to be a fast clock for Bobby. Ramonito is here. Hello from Switzerland. Hola from Switzerland.
Just gotta be very quick with it because it's like
Lotus Petal.
Or a black.
Okay.
I'll use the black.
All right, we're getting some types in the yard. Emperor of Bones up next. Okay.
Move to combat. I'll swing for 2.
Does this have a trigger?
Oh yeah. It's 4 combat. I'll just exile a Ponder, I guess.
All right, good on Force of Phil, remembering the Emperor of Bones trigger. Nothing super relevant to hit there. But the Nethergoyfs hit for 2. So the Nethergoyfs now have power. Still very small.
Sure.
Counterbalance. One of Force of Phil's favorites. It resolves.
I'll gain 2.
Good.
I'll draw.
All right, Emperor of Bones has been removed by a Swords. Attacking for 2 with the Nethergoyfs. That gets through.
Prismatic ending again? Sure.
All right, Prismatic Ending removes a Nethergoyf. Mystic Sanctuary. Looks like Swords going back on top. Malevolent Hermit.
Non-creature. I'll draw.
Malevolent Hermit, an interesting one. Don't see it much in Legacy these days, or really ever that much, but did see a little bit of play right after it was new in Midnight Hunt a few years ago. Swords removes the Nethergoyf, attacking with the Hermit. Aggro. Force of Phil going on the offensive here with a Hermit.
I'll pass.
I will fetch, get a basic card. Cast Brainstorm?
Sure.
Brainstorm here for Phil. Could set the top of the deck for counterbalance.
oh yes.
Predict target myself?
Sure.
Source Splatters?
Alright.
Okay, Predict dumps his Source of Plowshares into the graveyard.
2. Ponder? Sure.
Another Ponder for Phil after an attack with the Hermit.
Go ahead.
Play a Verdant Cataclysm. I'll pass.
Okay, Bobby finds a second land, but just passes the turn.
Sure. I'll put predict on
Mystic Sanctuary puts Predict on top. Attack with the Hermit.
that. 16.
Verdant Catacombs cracked here. Most likely going to find a Mortuary and Surveil, I guess.
Surveillance.
Bobby surveilling here. Dumps a Shieldred's Edict into the graveyard. The Bolars, thank you for the reset with Prime 40 months. Thank you, thank you.
I should have said it. Sorry, it was slight display. I mean, it's good. I should have said in response to the thoughts. Okay, so targeting. Yeah.
Thoughtseize, targeting Force of Phil. Phil has to predict on top of the deck. Brainstorm in response to try to change the top of the deck. Looks like Phil drew a Force of Will there. Prismatic Ending revealed on top. Thoughtseize is countered.
Yeah, that's good.
Phil has that Flooded Strand, which could find a Mystic Sanctuary and put, looks like a 1 or a 5 on top of the deck, based on what's in the graveyard. Bobby plays a Wasteland, not super relevant right now. Malevolent Hermit continues to swing away. 2 power on it.
Yeah.
Play a Barrogoy.
Barrogoyf. I don't know if Phil's going to be able to put a 3 on top of the deck. But Phil can find removal.
Results.
He has 4 power, the Barrogoyf.
Quantum to switch. I'm at 8. Predict target myself. Sure. Prismatic Ending.
No blows.
All right, after the swords on the Barrogoyf, Predict, dumps the Prismatic Ending into the graveyard, draws 2 cards. Phil continues to make land drops, continues attacking with the Hermit.
This trigger first.
Pass.
Take 2.
5 cards.
5 cards in Phil's hand. It's looking like it's going to be really difficult for Bobby to jump ahead in this game. Looking at the other side of the Malevolent Hermit,
Did you daze? No, I did. I did shock it.
the Benevolent Geist. Non-creature spells you control can't be countered if you disturb the Malevolent Hermit from the graveyard. It comes in transform.
I'll make 4 angels. Sure. Hatred for 2.
All right, entreat the angels, making 4 angels right after Twitch chat asked for it. There are the angel tokens. Twitch chat is happy. Fatal push on the Hermit. Goes into the graveyard. Maybe we'll disturb it later.
You mind if I see a graveyard?
They gave creatures flashback, chat. They don't know what they're doing.
How many cards are in hand? 4?
I have
6.
Yeah.
Something on this as
The personality I invented for the stream is the Magic player that hates every mechanic.
Go ahead.
I'll draw.
Robert says Phil got better tokens. Sign-on are wondering how you can hate Reach. Where's Reach on the Storm scale, by the way?
play a Witherbloom Apprentice.
Witherbloom Apprentice with the Magecraft mechanic.
One card.
I'm kind of on trigger on better.
So Witherbloom Apprentice also with Chain of Smog can be a game-ending combo. Plop wondering, do you also hate banding? Yeah. Banding didn't even get tested for 1v1. Attacking with the Angels. Bobby scoops it up. Force of Phil takes game 1. So after a multi 5, it seems like Bobby never really got anything going there in game 1. Game 2, now that we know a little bit about what Bobby is up to, we could see some combo stuff going on.
I might regret this.
All right, Bobby mulligans to 6, says he might regret it. We'll see.
I'll fetch.
Marsh Flats gets cracked to start game 2. Turn 1 says, I'm really digging Force of Phil's Miracle List. Yeah, we have a lot of fans of Force of Phil's builds that watch this channel. For anyone new around here, we do have a gigantic library of matches up on our YouTube channel. We have a Discord server where you can find deck lists and stuff like that.
It was hard to determine about what I was doing at that point. Oh yeah. I wanted to play it, but it's just like I woke up and
Make sure you have bookmarked our TCG Player affiliate link, folks. Use it to shop when you buy 6 cases of Final Fantasy.
Power loss makes that's why I was like, you know what?
Wraith says, I think this is the first time I've seen Phil win. I'm still new here. Phil wins. Phil wins.
All thoughts.
Thoughtseize targeting Force of Phil. Entreat the Angels. Malevolent Hermit. Predict. Brainstorm. Mystic Sanctuary. Lorien Revealed. Do we take... what do we take here? Do we take Lorien Revealed? No. Maybe Predict? I don't know.
I mean, mine is like, this one's a little bit different, but
Some tempo games in there.
yeah.
I'll take the.
I will say for its tempo is, I didn't realize how difficult it is to play tempo.
Treat the Angels can be taken here. Don't forget, Mystic Sanctuaries means any instant or sorcery can be put back on top of the deck. I think I just like taking Lorien Revealed here. It'll slow down Phil quite a bit. Phil has those brainstorms, though, and it looks like Phil drew a fetch as well. Another Glyph on the board, though, and it has 2 power this time, so it's not going to be sitting around doing nothing for any length of time. Brainstorm to start the turn. Looks like Phil drew a Meddling Mage. We haven't seen a Meddling Mage on stream in a while, have we? There's that Mystic Sanctuary coming in tapped. A little sad, but passing the turn.
Play another one.
Okay.
Go.
All right, another attack from the Netherglyph. Another Netherglyph gets deployed.
Turns up. Sure. Intriguing.
All right, Predict. Dumps Entreat the Angels into the graveyard. Plays a basic island. Ponder. What would you have taken from Phil's hand with that Thoughtseize? Would you have taken Lorien Revealed, chat? What was the correct take there, in your opinion? Obviously, we don't know Bobby's hand. Some people think it's entreat. No. Phil can get it back eventually. All right, attacking for 4. Phil drops to 11. Voodoo pointing out Force of Phil still plays Ponder. Yep. Counterbalance comes in. Can be quite disruptive.
I'll cycle a bit of summer.
All right, Vela Summer gets countered, revealing a Brainstorm on top of the deck. Bobby's Netherglyphs will grow to 3 power each. Phil's life total is 11. Netherglyphs are presenting a really fast clock here. Yeah, it's likely that a Velen response could have been better than Veiling on end step. Lotus Petal.
I will get a basic island and it's a 2.
Grasp of Bedlam.
It was more likely to succeed in cycling as a response to counterbalance than after counterbalance is on the board. Here's Witham Apprentice hitting the stack. Brainstorm in response to that. Looks like Phil will easily counter this. Has a couple of 2s in hand. I saw a Predict. I saw a Meddling Mage. The Netherglyphs now have 4 power each, though. That could be a problem. Okay, Malevolent Hermit revealed on top. Witherbloom is countered. 5 power now each on these Netherglyphs. Hits Phil for 10. Phil drops to 1. Needless to say, Phil needs to deal with these creatures. Two 5 power Netherglyphs. Meddling Mage.
I'll sit with Spellmaster. Go.
That's the... What's the spirit?
Meddling Mage named Orcish Bowmaster.
The spirit one?
At 1 life, that makes sense.
Does not have flash.
Okay, just flying.
On the backside.
Okay.
Draw.
Yeah, Terminus would not have been bad just now. Okay, Bobby plays a basic forest.
Share the ball masters. I'll kill your ball master. And then you can switch.
Ramalito with a great question. How many lands Bobby plays? So I played against Bobby in this event. I think Bobby plays 18 lands in this build. I think that's what Bobby said. I could be wrong, but I think so.
Just one play. If I attack, let's say I attack with 3. I need to when I make a token of another attacking.
I'm pretty sure he said that.
While he's on the token goes back
I had the same question.
is tapped and attacking as well.
Yeah, Bobby's draws in this match have so far been a little bit unlucky, it seems. Bobby thinking before attacks here. Meddling Mage naming Orcish Bowmaster. Legolas's Quick Reflexes. That does trigger the counterbalance, right?
I cannot respond to it.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe the top of the deck is not a 1. Legolas's quick reflexes, it seems like, has resolved. If Phil had a 1 on the top of the deck, it could counter this quick reflexes. There's also an opportunity to... Okay, so dress down happening here. After quick reflexes has resolved, I guess before attacks. Draw a card off dress down.
For reference, this does remember what it says.
Yeah.
Even under just now.
Because of the timing, because of the layers stuff, right?
I had to look it up before I put these cards together.
Fair enough.
So Phil pointing out that Meddling Mage's ability is still on under dress down. I don't know that that's true, but it still remembers what card was named.
I'll just pass the turn.
I think that's what Phil said, but Bobby is going to pass the turn. Yeah, it remembers the name card. The ability isn't active. Oh, that's what he said? Okay, then fair enough. I misunderstood what Phil was trying to say. But to be clear, it would remember that it named Bowmaster, but its ability would not be active, is the way it's supposed to work. No matter what Force of Phil said there. Aquinas is a judge in the chat.
I don't have my Nintendo Power handy. I don't know.
All right, brainstorm happening here for Phil. Got away with the Legolas's quick reflexes situation with a dress down. Yeah, Meddling Mage's ability has now resumed after dress down left, and nobody can cast Orcish Bowmasters.
Okay. That's a podcastable breach. Yeah. Wait, how much? I have a day. Okay. Yeah. 14. Alright.
Okay, there's the Malevolent Hermit again. Another Meddling Mage.
Let's say Witherbloom Apprentice.
Alright.
Go ahead.
5 cards.
4 cards.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bowmaster and Witherbloom Apprentice are the cards named now by Meddling Mage.
Combat.
Yep.
The Netherglyphs have 5 power. They are both attacking, and looks like Force of Phil is just going to chump both. They're Witherbloom, Meddling Mage, and the Malevolent Hermit blocking here. The Hermit could of course, disturb and come back as the Benevolent Geist.
Sure.
All right, so now just Bowmaster shut off again by Meddling Mages. Death says if Meddling Mage names the watch list, does it remove itself from it? Yeah, Meddling Mage is on the watch list. Treat the Angels goes to the top of Phil's deck with a Mystic Sanctuary. Passing it back to Bobby. A Brainstorm and then a Miracle could make some Angels here. Sign Order judges bagels. Does California have good bagels, chat?
Actually, can I say that back?
I don't know.
Move to combat.
All right, a swing for 10. Force a fill at 1 life. Brainstorm. Entreat.
Swing for 5.
All right, confirmed. No good bagels in California. Sayonara points out Los Angeles has one of the biggest Jewish communities in the world. But how are the bagels, Sayonara?
I'll make 3 angels.
All right, 3 angels are getting made here by Entreat the Angels. There they are. All right, attempting to remove everybody. 2 double blocks. The Bowmaster Mage could die in combat here.
How much is the deal?
Definitely go 1 angel.
What's up?
I'll go 1 angel. Definitely.
Oh, we're going to damage?
Yeah, we're going to.
All right, what are you killing here?
Tap like this.
Did you tap for?
I mean, if Bobby has the Bowmaster, we have to consider killing the Mage, right? But maybe Bobby's worried about the clock from a 4/4 Angel on the other side. Gonna lose both of these Netherglyphs either way. All right, Bobby's gonna let the Meddling Mage live. Probably means Bobby does not have a Bowmaster, I guess. Force of Fill could also counter Bowmasters with Counterbalance. Emperor of Bones reveals the 2 on top that we kind of figured was there. Meddling Mage on top of the deck. Emperor of Bones is countered.
I'll attack for 6.
11.
Force of Fill now attacking. The Angel and the Mage. Disturbing the Hermit, and he gets a Benevolent Geist.
I'm just waiting for my monsters.
A 2 on top of the deck here seems pretty good for Force of Fill. Oh crap, I didn't hear what was named with the Mage. I'm guessing it was probably Witherbloom Apprentice. Alright, that is the match. Sorry about that, folks. GG's. Phil gets it. Well played. Well played. Let's set up another poll for the chat. Which match next? Your options will be: is it Cutter versus Doomsday? Miracles versus Doomsday? Jeskai versus Demir? Or Breakfast versus Reanimator? Cephalid Breakfast versus Reanimator. You have 1 minute. Get your votes in. Yeah, we don't know if Bobby had lands in the deck. Poll happening live now in the chat. Which match should we watch next? Twitch chat is voting. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Don't forget to go check out our Patreon and our Coffee page. Links are all over the place for that. Make sure you're in the Discord. Make sure you're subscribed to the 90s MTG YouTube channel. These are the things I'm asking you to do. So do it. 30 seconds on the poll. Close vote here. A lot of votes coming in. Surprising results so far. Almost out of time on this poll. A lot of channel points getting spent here. People trying to rig this thing. It's close. Miracles versus Doomsday will be up next. Voodoo contributed 4,800 channel points. Let's do it. Let's do it. Mr. DJ Kenny, what up, what up? Guillermo, thank you for the resub of Prime 17 months. Appreciate it. Getting this set up. All right, folks, diving in. Just for fun, at the conclusion of each year, we've had talks about who is the rookie of the year on 90s MTG and stuff like that. Often the kind of winner of this just for fun poll is not really a rookie in Magic the Gathering, but a rookie on our streams here on 90s MTG. Over the last couple of years, we've seen some players join our formats community and shine on camera on 90s MTG. People have talked about Herman and Yosef and others, right? I don't need to name everybody. Zach is a player that's appeared for the first time somewhat recently on our channel. Been jamming a lot of Legacy, and this is a player to watch. Zach continues to impress me and everybody else with their gameplay. One card going on the bottom for Zach. Keep an eye out for Zach, everybody. Great new player to the channel. Not new to the game, but new to the channel. Phil in the middle of a mulligan here. Is Duke still playing Legacy? I think referring to Reed Duke. I'm sure Reed is playing Legacy at some point. Reed recently attended a vintage event here in Queens in New York City. So Reed's been around, hanging out, playing cards. Phil resolving this mulligan. Mulligan to 5 for Phil. Mulligan to 6 for Zach. We are ready to go. Undercity Sewers, Cervelle. I don't know if Phil knew what Zach was up to when they sat down to play this match. I'm assuming most people at this point know Phil is on Miracles. We'll see.
Tamio?
All right, here's Tamio. Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Yeah, we have a lot of fans of Force of Phil's playmat for sure. Tamio still hot in Legacy here in May 2025. Malevolent Hermit. All right, Malevolent Hermit will resolve. It can potentially be disruptive if Phil has untapped mana. But right now, Phil tapped out.
Swing with Tamio.
Tamio attacks.
Take 0 damage.
Zach will make a clue. No damage is dealt.
And then we'll go Ritual. Okay.
Dark Ritual. Barrogoyf. Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Got I have a sorcery. Instant sorcery. Damage.
2 power Barrogoyf comes in.
Cast you.
Well, clearly this is a fairish Doomsday, I guess. Dark Ritual Barrogoyf. I dig it. Prismatic Ending on Tamio. Has a mana open here to sack the Hermit potentially. Force of Will pitching Ponder. Gonna sack the Hermit to counter Force of Will. Ending resolves. Tameo is exiled.
This is a creature in it now.
Yeah.
There is now a creature in the graveyard. Malevolent Hermit is in the graveyard. It could get disturbed later. Bargoyf attacks.
I'll mill.
Mills Doomsday, Basic Swamp, Flooded Strand. So nothing found. Bargoyf does some damage. Ponder here. Signorna says bring back Dark Ritual into Hippie. Could be cool. We need some cards that conjure Hypnotic Specters and Curd Apes and Juggernauts and Air Elementals, Water Elementals, Fire Elementals. Four power on the Bargoyf now. Ooh, what is that?
Live, draw 2, and discard 2. Okay.
All right, gain 2 life, draw 2, discard 2. I forgot the name of this card. It costs white blue. Faithful Mending, that's the one. Thank you, chat. It has flashback.
I can target you with it, right?
Force of Phil shows up in the chat, says was testing out a copy, not good enough in practice. Well, that's why we test them, to find out. All right, discarded here was a Counterbalance and another Malevolent Hermit. Phil tapped out. Bargoyf has grown to 5 power now. Enchantment got dumped to the graveyard.
Swing.
Mill.
All right, another mill from the Bargoyf. Edge of Autumn. Tameo is returned to hand. It was the only creature.
Yeah, I drew it now.
That resolves. On your
Prismatic Ending going after the Bargoyf. It is gone.
No, it's prismatic.
No, it's pretty. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
on your next upkeep, all cash children needed.
So Zach has Tameo, a clue, and that Undercity Sewer has not made another land drop yet.
Another clue.
You drew for turn already?
All right, Tameo makes another clue after the attack. Ponder here.
So but now you now you can shuffle it in and then
Yeah, just a second. It's no fear.
What cards should Force of Phil put in the deck, chat? Let's break this Miracles deck together. I want Miracles to be tier 1. Anybody that mentions Sensei's top is getting banned.
It's actually my fault. You said so that's like my next turn.
All right, there's a Lotus Petal for Zach. Offense kind of shut down by that Prismatic Ending on the Bargoyf. We're going to disturb the Hermit and get a Benevolent Geist. So now Phil has power on the board, I guess. And Phil's non-creature spells can't be countered, which is pretty good.
That's fine.
All right, now a Ponder for Phil. Soothsaying could be an interesting one. Yeah, Phil is wearing a Nickelodeon Guts shirt. We were talking about it quite a bit between rounds at one point. Both Phil and I watched a lot of Nickelodeon Butts. Butts. Nickelodeon guts. Sorry, back in the day. Wow, I said the wrong word. Oh man, that was embarrassing. Oh man, we should just end the stream.
Ritual?
Dark Ritual.
Paraguay? Force pitch.
Oh, that was embarrassing. Force pitching Lurian revealed, countering a Paraguay. Phil and I also fans of Legend of the Hidden Temple as well. Here's Malevolent Hermit. So we have a face-up one and a face-down one on the table. Thank you, Wizards, for the disturb mechanic. We really like it a lot.
Exactly. Cameo. Another clue.
Up to 4 clues now is Zach. There was Guts. There was Legend of the Hidden Temple. Was there another game show like that I'm forgetting?
Drop button.
I don't know. Predict results. Basically, all of Phil's non-creature spells are going to be resolving with the Benevolent Geist on the battlefield. Oh, there was Double Dare. That's true. Kind of a different kind of a show, right? Another one I was a fan of, though, was Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I love that show.
Yeah.
And just for the record, if I was a contestant, I would have crushed Carmen Sandiego. I would have crushed that show. I would have won so bad, they would have had to cancel the show. I'm not even kidding. All right, Phil has a clock, 6 power worth of Benevolent Geists and a Malevolent Hermit on the battlefield. He's swinging for 8 here, potentially. Yeah, Where in Time, Carmen Sandiego was also really good. I would have won that one, too. But not as much as the Geography one. I would have crushed. Like, you people don't understand how much I would have won. Missed opportunity. Bring the show back.
Time for 6. I'm gonna block one of the Geists. Sure. So I'll take 4.
All right, one of the Geists gets blocked by the Tameo. Oh, the Geist. The Geist have 2 power, not 3. I was miscounting. So it was 6 total power on the board for Phil. I was miscounting. They can be blocked by Tameo safely.
Step predict target myself.
End step predict. Target myself. Dump a Tundra into the graveyard. Swords on Tameo. It's going to speed up the clock here for Phil a bit and prevent Tameo from transforming into a Planeswalker. Did I know there was a short-lived spin-off Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I guess I don't know about it. Is Carmen Sandiego available to watch anywhere, like in any app or anything? If so, please post it in our Discord. Same goes for the other shows we're mentioning.
Okay. Brainstorm?
Here's a Brainstorm for Zach. A little late. Would have been nice with Tameo on the board. Sacrifices the Hermit to counter the Brainstorm. I actually like that play. Good plays here from Phil.
Black. Unearth, targeting Barrelboy.
Okay, unearth targeting Barrowglyph. Predict in response. Dumps a Mystic Sanctuary. Trying to unearth the Barrowglyph.
That's fine.
Okay, Barrowglyph comes back in. Could potentially be a problem for Phil if Phil can't get rid of it.
Enchantment creatures, still land sorcery. Enchantment land artifact. 6, right?
Yeah, if you have an artifact, I have an
Yeah, I
enchantment.
have an artifact. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Fast key.
Okay, looks like it's a 6-power Barrowglyph. Phil's non-creature spells can't be countered, which is pretty good here. Flooded Strand getting cracked on upkeep. Mystic Sanctuary. It's likely Phil's going to be able to remove this thing, right? Looks like there's a Prismatic Ending at least in the yard. Yep, Prismatic Ending going back on top. Phil will draw it. Rest of the deck gets cut.
Yep.
Okay, ending on the Barrowglyph. Barrowglyph now gone. Wraith with a great question. Which comes first, the altering or the addition to Phil's deck? You know what? That's a question for Force of Phil. We don't understand the ways of Force of Phil just yet. It's beyond comprehension.
Finally.
I'll deal 1 damage to you.
Fast to you.
All right, there's Force of there's Phil in the chat. So Zach found a second land finally. Maybe a little late. Lorien Revealed gets cast here. Phil's going to draw 3. Phil with a lot of resources available right now. Attacking with the Geists. There's another Hermit in the yard, but it'll stay there for now, undisturbed.
Now with the fetch on the stack. Fetch on the stack. I'll fetch as well. Okay.
Okay, Zach fetches. With that on the stack, Phil's going to fetch in response. Finds a Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, Force of Will goes to the top of the deck.
I'm not getting anything through.
All right, so realizing I'm not getting anything through at 3 life, we're moving on to game 2. Force of Phil takes game 1. Round of applause if you're a Force of Phil fan. We took another game against Doomsday. Moving on to game 2, we saw some Barrowglyphs and Tamios and fun stuff like that in this Doomsday deck. How will it operate post-sideboard? I guess we will find out. The Doomsday decks, obviously, you know, they're trying to function in the Legacy format, right? They can break through counter magic. But as the game goes along, it starts to favor Phil more and more, I guess, generally speaking. Phil's deck, especially in game 1, can easily deal with threats like creatures. Barrowglyphs were basically removed immediately most of the time. We'll see how this goes. Zach will be on the play here for game 2. I'm guessing Zach hoping for a fast win. Zach unlikely to be feeling like, I hope I can make this game go long. Okay, both players kept 7. Basic Island, Tamio. Okay. Tamio still in the deck. Ponder for Phil. No removal immediately for Tamio. A Brainstorm could, of course, flip Tamio, start ticking it up. Tamio gets scary pretty quickly.
Turn. Attack with Tamio. Yep.
Okay, attacking with Tamio, making a clue. Zach will crack that Scalding Tar now.
Three cards now?
Thoughtseize, okay. Gonna take a look. 2 copies of Malevolent Hermit, Brainstorm, Search for Azcanta, and Predict. Flooded Strand Tundra.
Enchantment at the beginning of my keep a surveil one. Then if I have Threshold, I can transform it, and it transforms into this.
Cast Children's Events.
Okay, that's
Quite a hand. Search for Azcanta gets a reaction. That is nasty.
yeah. Let's get rid of that. That's,
Search for Azcanta will be chosen by Thoughtseize here. It is gone.
twice attack. And what else? You had 2 of the hermits.
2 hermits.
Okay. Pass turn.
Harry Houdini has arrived, everybody.
Turn result.
Predict. Dumps a Hermit into the graveyard. It can be disturbed later.
Keep. Draw.
True story. People at the LGS were mentioning Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini now a famous member of the 90s MTG chat. And Harry Houdini gifts a sub. Thank you, Harry. 168 now on the channel. Thank you. A pillar of our community for sure.
Correct. Delta.
Yeah, Predict putting Hermit in the graveyard is pretty cool. Yes, definitely saying nice things about Harry Houdini.
Ponder.
Yep.
All right, now a Ponder for Zach. Dexter with a great question. Has Phil tested Tameo in Miracles? I don't think I've seen Phil with a Tameo yet, personally. Wow, that was super loud. But we just hit our subs goal. Thank you. Sub goal reached.
Okay, Brainstorm.
Now a Brainstorm for Phil. Yeah, you know, I've gone into the settings like 10 times now and adjusted the volume of like the alerts and whatever. It just doesn't work. So sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what to do. I can't even mute it. It's just annoying. Here's Volcanic Island. But thanks for reaching the sub goal. I don't mind the celebration.
If someone play that, it's hard. Because on the side, you have a lot of counter.
Yeah. All right. New goal started. Yeah, we have to know we hit the sub goal, Harry. Brainstorm happening here for Phil. Tameo has flipped into a Planeswalker. It has 4 loyalty now. Still have a clue available. Tameo presents a clock. Once it ultimates, Phil will be in trouble.
I'll cycle over.
Lorien revealed. Gets Island cycled. We know Phil is running Prismatic Ending, which could be one way to just remove Tameo. Salty has arrived. Please restart the stream. All right, let's restart.
That's fine.
Let's just start over. Yeah, I don't know if Phil is still running Deduce. I don't think so. Harry Houdini with a great question. Would Phil ever play Bowmaster out of principle? You really never know. All right, untapping. Passing it back to Zach.
Okay.
Not sure who has priority at the moment. I guess Zach is thinking here.
Ponder.
All right. Ponder to start the turn. Ramalito with a question. What are the prices for the 90s MTG GP NYC in July? Yeah, so there's a 90s MTG Legacy Open coming up in July, on July 13th. Off the top of my head, I don't remember all the prices and prizes and all that stuff, but links are in our Discord. Ask in our Discord. Someone will help you. Or I'll help you. We'll get to that later.
Take up Tamio.
Okay, Tamio up to 6 loyalty. Here's another Tamio. Quinas with a question. Do we need another judge for event in July? I don't know. If you want, I could connect you with the right people. I don't know where we are with the judge situation. I'm not handling that part of it.
He said
Ping me on Discord. I'll try to connect people.
maybe the heel turn was up until now. Yeah,
Okay, a Wasteland hits the Volk. Phil has lost the Volcanic Island now. No access to red at the moment. Tamio at 6 loyalty. It's creeping up there. Tropical Island, okay. There is a Malevolent Geist in the graveyard. Could be helpful. Potentially. Okay, just plays a Malevolent Hermit from hand. That also could be helpful. Has 2 power, it attacks. It's something. Tamio available to block as of right now, and the Tamio plus ability will reduce the power. Might not be enough. Tamio's about to go up to 8 loyalty after the attack makes a clue with the other Tamio.
Just take up Tamio. Another die in there somewhere.
Any questions about the 90s MTG Legacy Open, definitely just make a post in our Discord, and I'll get back to you if someone else doesn't respond. We have a Legacy Open coming up in mid-July. Some people are excited. Some people don't care. I whatever. Okay, the Hermit will attack Tamio, which has 8 loyalty at the moment. Bowmaster getting flashed in. Hermit only has 1 toughness. Force of Will.
I'll pitch a Hermit.
Pitching the Malevolent Hermit. So Tamio drops to 6. I think they forgot the Tamio trigger, right? Tamio was at 8. Just got attacked by a 2-power creature. Should be at 7. Phil might notice that and allow it. Zach's missing the trigger. Maybe. Floodstrand getting cracked here. That's a pretty big error for Zach if that was missed. Volcanic Island comes in.
Cast Rest.
Casting a Dress Down. What does that do here? Draws a card.
Yep, that's fine.
Looks like Phil just drew a Meddling Mage. That's really awkward with Dress Down on the board. All right, Dress Down goes away. Passing the turn. Tamio at 6 loyalty at the moment.
Take Tamio back up. Actually,
She should be at
I've only
7.
taken 1, yeah, so it's 9, yeah.
No, she should be at. Oh, you're taking her up anyway?
Oh, yeah, she's at 7. That's right, yeah, sorry, that's, I took 2 off.
Okay, so we're this is casual Ariel. Force of Phil saying in the chat, we'll correct it. They're proceeding as if the trigger was remembered, and now Tamio will ultimate here. Okay. Okay. This is casual Ariel.
It'd be easier to count how many cards you got in your permanents and stuff.
Actually, yeah, I think I have a 61 card deck.
Oh, do you?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah, I think I cited in 2 more that I took out. Tokens.
Okay, I think Zach pointing out here that we have a 61 card deck, trying to figure out how many cards are left in the library without having to count the library.
17, what's that, 44, 22?
Tamio ultimate happening here.
22.
Okay, 22 cards were just drawn.
You invested a whole mana, and she drew you cards along the way.
Yeah.
Phil's in trouble.
She flips the one on the table.
Another Tamio Planeswalker after drawing 22 cards, or 21 cards, whatever it was. Can Phil fight through a 20 card hand? No sign of the Tamio emblem, by the way.
Murktide.
Murktide Regents, okay.
It's going to be 6/6. Exile 3 sorceries.
Force pitch counterbalance.
Okay, Force of Will pitching counterbalance on the Murktide.
Force pitch days.
Trying to protect Murktide here with a Force of Will. Sacking the Hermit, trying to counter Force of Will. Dark Ritual to pay for the Hermit. Force pitching Meddling Mage to counter Force of Will or the Murktide.
Come on, tell me I got one in here. Force. All there.
Yeah, I can't beat it.
All right, Force of Phil scoops it up. We are moving on to game 3. Tried to fight off a Murktide, couldn't do it. Ended up hellbent. Moving on to game 3. So now Phil will be on the play. I guess that game 2 did go kind of long. Zach got it anyway. Tamio a big part of it. We saw Murktide kind of win the game. So Zach's Doomsday deck could play a long game here. Let's see how game 3 goes. I'm curious to see how this goes. All right, Phil kept 7. Zach has taken a mulligan. You have no mana now, right?
7.
All right, 1 card on the bottom for Zach. Blooded Strand passed the turn. We're underway. Game 3, everybody. Exciting.
Plus say Maya. Crap. I don't know what I did there.
All right, this has happened a few times. The life counter buttons get a little wonky. Underground C. Turn. Dark Ritual, okay. Baraglyph, okay.
I'll fetch your time doing the swords.
Dark Ritual, Baraglyph again. Goes after it with his swords.
Tundra on swords. attempt to force. Pitch a Kaito.
Force of Will pitching Kaido, Bane of Nightmares. Seems like Zach is all in for the Barrowglife here, I guess.
It's been forced.
Okay. Pass to you.
Okay, passes it back to Phil. Barrowglife could be a problem. Search for Azcanta. Okay, that's not an answer, but it's an interesting addition to Phil's board.
That's like
Okay.
Are you playing
I qualified for the modern arsenal.
Search for Azcanta is a card from the first Ixalan. Really cool one. I wish this card was more relevant in Legacy. Or more relevant. Is it getting played in any format? Like, is Search for Azcanta getting played anywhere? Even Commander?
Okay.
Such a cool card.
Cycle Lorian, you go.
Okay, Cycling Lorian revealed. All right, seems like people are seeing it here and there in other formats, but it's not really seeing a lot of play, it seems.
You have no cards in it right now. I'll go.
Brainstorm happening here for Phil. Barrowglife at, it looks like 3 power at the moment. It's getting to stay on the board for a while and attack a few times. Phil drops to 15.
No 3.
Attacking you.
Found a Brazen Borrower. We'll take that.
Waste your Tundra.
That's a pretty big wasteland hitting Tundra. Phil left with a Trop. Mills and entreat the Angels into the graveyard. Flips into a land.
Game 3. I have nothing. Game 3.
Phil makes a land drop of a basic Plains. Swords on the Barrowglife.
Because he Uro. So she reanimated.
Azcanta, the Sunken Ruin, requires 3 mana, I believe, to activate. Yeah, 3 mana, and then tap it. Look at the top 4 cards, non-creature, non-land, into your hand. Barrowglife shot down. And then a Malevolent Hermit for Phil. Okay. Tapped out, though.
I should have favored
Cards in hand? 2.
2 cards left in Phil's hand.
Scouting Tarn.
It's on table. Let me show it now. On
Scalding Tarn gets cracked. Underground Sea. Phil with only 2 cards left in hand. Looked like one of them was a Meddling Mage. The other might have been a Mystic Sanctuary. Doesn't have enough islands yet.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Attempt to make a big ass Murktide.
Murktide. It's going to be big. Looks like it's going to be a 7/7.
That's interesting. Okay, Phil has found a Brainstorm. Looked like a Predict and a Fetch land were found. I didn't see the other card. Maybe the... Mystic Sanctuary at some point can get back a Swords to Plowshares, but we might not have enough time for that. Predict. Dumps Meddling Mage. Drew another Meddling Mage, it looks like. Flooded Strand. Yeah, I don't think Phil's going to have enough time, unfortunately, for Mystic Sanctuary to get back removal. We're going to have to find it on top, it seems. Yeah, not much Doomsday from the Doomsday deck yet in this match. He's been attacking with Power Waves and Murktides.
Swing.
And I guess Tameo as well. So Phil drops to 8. If you fetch, we drop to 7. It's a 7/7 Murktide. I don't know if Phil's going to be able to have enough time here.
Very.
I don't believe Zach's list is posted in the Discord, but if you make a post there, I can try to get it. Try. Cavern of Souls, it sounded like Zach named Human? Did I hear that right? Okay. Fetch, going to 7.
I feel like those things are important to point out because they're so like.
Gets a Tundra.
About that they get used to doing. You know what I mean? Like after a while, it's like, okay, I always want to tap this way.
Yeah, the Doomsday deck Zach is playing has like a mid-range plan B, basically.
And basic lands in play, and he was tapping basics and getting his non-basics wasted, so he got dazed.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, after a while, you just like don't forget about it. Yeah, because you do it like correctly.
In my mind, it's like,
Malevolent Hermit can't block here.
Last turn, I don't know. So I could have played a Mystic Sanctuary tapped last turn to make untapped here and have access to this. No. Mystic Sanctuary is off because you had double wasteland after milling one. This comes in.
You have the islands, yeah.
Yeah, so this would come in.
Okay, sounds like Phil has scooped here, saying maybe I should have played a Mystic Sanctuary the previous turn, turned on as Kanta, but Zach's going to get the match. Well played. GG's. Phil had a sword somewhere in the mix there on top. Zach gets it. Zach gets it. Doomsday, everybody. Is it tier 1? Let's set up another poll for the chat. Which match next? Your options will be Breakfast versus Reanimator. Doomsday versus Demir Tempo. Demir Murktide. Jeskai versus Death and Taxes. Or Sultai Beans versus 5-color Beans. You have 1 minute. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Make sure you're in the Discord. Go check out our Patreon and our coffee page. Links are all over the place for that. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. That is free. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. YouTube needs your help to figure out which channels are any good on its platform. By hitting subscribe, you give them some idea what is going on. I'm going to vote in this poll. What do I want here? I get 1 vote? All right, I voted. Less than 30 seconds. Get your votes in. Somewhat close vote. People are spending channel points. People are spamming channel points. Almost out of time. Close. Bug Beans versus 5-color Beans will be up next. Harry Houdini contributed 1,500 channel points. Thank you, Harry. Let's do it. Let's do it. Diving in. Oh, an earthquake happening.
Otherwise, this works like sometimes, people run like drink out the void, and then they have to tell you, but otherwise, so if they decide to put it in the main deck, then they have to. Want to do a high roll? Yeah. They don't have to send the main deck.
Okay, we have 5 color on the left. That would be Omar. Sultai on the right. That would be Cat Party. People are having fun in the background. They were thrown out of the event. They were thrown out.
No, I'm on a tropical island now.
When we have Magic tournaments, we want like the sound levels to be like a library and not like a subway station, you know?
No, that makes sense. That's the general.
Quiet.
I don't expect them to be told like.
This is serious.
34th card in the main deck right now. From the top. I would call a judge.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm going to keep. My bad. I forgot I'm on the play. By milling.
Okay, it seems like Omar has kept 7. Cat Party taking a mulligan here.
I'll keep it.
I am against noise pollution. Ban car alarms. Ban leaf blowers. 1 card on the bottom for Cat Party. We are ready to go. Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. Ponder for Cat Party, first spell of the game. If you've been hanging out with us on stream for a while, Omar usually playing some kind of a blue, long game, grindy deck. Cat Party usually on some kind of mono black control. We're playing Solte Beanstalk here. What about the play patterns, chat?
Thinking. I'll just draw.
All right. No Surveil or anything on end step. Ponder here for Omar. Any Pox in the meta where we play? Yeah, I played against Pox like a few weeks ago. I played against Mono Black Pox more in the past 6 months, by far, than I've played against Oops All Spells, so. I don't know, add it to your spreadsheet or something. I haven't played against Oops All Spells in probably 6 months. All right, a Bayou for Cat Party.
Look at the bottom.
One more fetching here. Seems like already this is going to be a grind fest, chat. What do you think?
Play my land for the turn. Up the beanstalk.
Up the beanstalk on the stack. Well, the first beans of the match has appeared. Let's see if it resolves. Force of Will, pitching Ponder. Up the beanstalk is countered. Ponder should have been exiled.
Good. 18.
Orcish Bowmaster gets flashed in. Polluted Delta gets played. Attacking with the Bowmaster and the Orc Army. Omar drops to 16. Pass the turn.
I'll just untap and draw.
Looks like Omar's holding a Swords to Plowshares, which could potentially deal with the Bowmaster.
Pitching yo-yo.
Plop.
Campman happy that we might see a grind fest here.
Brainstorm.
Following up with a Brainstorm, does Cat Party have a second Bowmaster?
Yeah.
Looked like a Xander's Lounge was drawn.
Could have done it in my upkeep too. It didn't really matter.
Omar has the fetch land to potentially shuffle away some cards we don't want. Plays the Misty Rainforest. Looks like Omar's holding a copy of Storm Chaser's Talent. I like it.
Untap draw. Okay.
We've seen the Otters on stream quite a bit recently. Bloomborough. Took a while for people to catch on to this card, but it's seen quite a bit of play at events in the New York City area, I would say. Another hot card these days, Corey Steele Cutter. Spell Pierce. I've been seeing a lot of Cutter decks at the locals. I don't think either of these decks have the Cutter. I'm just saying it's another popular card right now. Hedge Maze, Cervelle.
Cards in hand? 3.
3 cards in Omar's hand, just checking. Okay, dumps a Thoughtseize. Still has a 1/1 Orc army on the battlefield. Cat Party does. Unfortunately, there's a Ponder in the graveyard that should have been exiled. The players did not catch that. Hoping it doesn't matter too much here. Attacking for 1. Omar drops to 14. 3 cards in Omar's hand.
How many cards are in 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, this Murktide is getting cast here. Unfortunately, exiling one of those Ponders that should have been in exile. It's going to be an 8/8.
I have a clock.
This is FNM. If you're going to go out there playing competitive Magic, you do have to keep track of that stuff. And not just on your side, on your opponent's side as well. Here's Xander's Lounge getting fetched up.
That's Bowmaster.
Untap. Yes. Draw.
Yeah, Harry Houdini wondering where is the judge. We are the judge. We are the judge. We're submitting a ticket to the DCI for sure.
Still on step. I will fetch.
Here's a Ponder for Omar.
Not a Surveillance.
Looking up the Beanstalk was found. Up the Beanstalk is cast. Looks like Omar's holding a copy of Swords to Plowshares in hand. Plays a land. Leyline Binding. Okay. Murktide will be chosen. It's gone. Draw off the beans.
Combat.
All right, Omar continues to play around Daze. Daze has been basically shut off in this game. If it's in hand for Cat Party, no use for it. Attack for 1. Omar accepts.
Pass. Draw.
Yeah, the Leyline Binding kind of fixed the situation, didn't it?
Out and draw. Go ahead.
There was that one ban announcement. Remember this a few years ago? I love this stuff. Where Wizards mentioned Leyline Binding as a possible hot card in Legacy or whatever they said, and people were like, they don't know anything about our format.
Go Savannah.
It's just the best.
Life from Below. Targeting Tundra.
Endurance.
Endurance.
Thank you for 1. I haven't already this turn.
4 blockers. So it resolves? Oh, sorry. Endurance resolves. I'm going to target myself. Is that okay? We're going to do it with the ability on the stack.
With the ability on the stack.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to cast an Edict.
Okay. Children's Edict. With the ability on the stack, Endurance will then get shuffled and put on the bottom of the library. It's gone.
Okay. And then I'll take 1. Down to
Omar drops a 10 after the attack from the 1/1 Orc Army.
These two in my hand, miss, and drop in the I will untap. Draw.
Plan land play Storm Chaser's talent.
Okay, here's a Storm Chaser's talent.
Blooded Strand.
Yeah, it seemed like Omar gamed a little bit here, talked Cat Party into casting it with Endurance's ability on the stack. But would you want the Endurance shuffled back in? Maybe. Beanstalk deck. Want the deck to remain full of cards, maybe?
This one.
I don't know.
Ponder. Doesn't matter.
Okay, the Otter will trade with the Orc Army. Both tokens have been eliminated.
Thorough, Master, finding, play Uro.
Resolves with the trigger on the stack. Plop. Sure. So you're gonna gain a total of 9 life.
Okay, so Uro resolved with its enters ability on the stack. It was swords. So 9 life was gained. Uro's ability will now resolve. Uro was exiled. Is Uro still on the watch list? Can someone check? Card is crazy.
Draw. Actually, I'm a land to put in. Hit you for 1.
Surely we have to start now.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Level
5,
up.
6, 7.
Okay, Storm Chaser's talent will level up to Chapter 2, or Level 2, I should say. Return the swords to hand.
Play for Beanstalk and then I'll move to my
Oh, hard trust.
So, Omar is a Level 2 Storm Chaser, it turns out.
Did you pay the 1 for force? Oh, no, you heard this.
Rakshasa's Bargain. This card is hot right now, for sure. Cast a few myself. I like this card a lot. Might be my favorite card of 2025 so far for Legacy. It's up there. What's your favorite 2025 Legacy card, chat?
Misty Thought Season.
I think we asked this last week, and a lot of people said Stock Up. A lot of people said Corey Steele, Cutter. Thoughtseize and Misty Rainforest into the graveyard.
This is in the graveyard, right?
Yes. That's now in the graveyard, not a permanent. Brainstorm.
Resolves.
Brainstorm resolving here for Cat Party. Another question for the chat, question for the YouTube comments. Is Final Fantasy going to be, in your opinion, and interpret however you like, a high impact set for Legacy, a medium impact set for Legacy, or a low, barely noticeable impact set for Legacy? What do you think? High, medium, or low? Final Fantasy impact on Legacy. And we're including the Commander set and all of this.
These two in my hand, these two in the yard. And then attack you for 1. Move to discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mr. Bip's not impressed, saying it's going to be a low impact set.
Ponder and Tamia.
Luminor with the opposite opinion. High impact, too many cards. There has to be a few heavy hitters. Sirius says low. Rachel Maddow says less impact than other recent standard sets. Okay, so maybe a low impact. Less than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was pretty high impact, I would say. On the higher end. Closer to a Modern Horizons, which is like, it feels like is like the top of that scale. With a Bloom Command, excuse me.
Creature permanent and
With Bloom Command, it looks like is going after up the Beanstalk and milling here, it sounds like. Omar's fetching in response. Maybe Hardcast Force coming?
I guess it's just probably time to play.
Hardcast Force Soul. Trigger beat stuff.
Hardcast Force, trigger the beans. Not bad.
Cards in hand. 3.
3 cards left in Omar's hand. Trying to stop this Witherbloom command from blowing up the beanstalk. Getting one more trigger.
6.
Force pitching Brainstorm. Card will be drawn from up the beanstalk. Up the beanstalk is destroyed. And the drain happens. Okay, so we went for drain and blow up beanstalk. I think I said it wrong a moment ago. Omar drops to 7.
Where's that?
Draw.
Not sure the drain was super relevant there. I don't know.
Slice of pizza.
Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Okay, Brainstorm for Omar resolves. Omar drew a Force, a Brainstorm, and a Hedge Maze, it looked like. Storm Chaser's Talent on level 2. 6 mana to take it up to level 3.
Land for turn. Go ahead.
And your turn, I will attempt endurance.
Level 3 Storm Chaser's Talent could be pretty big. End step Endurance. Targeting Omar, it sounds like. Okay, Omar will put the cards on the bottom. Swords on the Endurance. Endurance gone. Tried to close out the game with Endurance, potentially. 1 card in hand for Cat Party was just a land, it seems. Nothing in the graveyard to do here. Earl was exiled.
And this good?
6.
Okay. I'll put these two in my hand, wasteland, up the beanstalk.
Okay, end step, look for and find that Xander's Lounge. Omar back to having 5 colors of mana on the battlefield. Xander's Lounge is Grixis. There's a Ponder. Not yet going for the ultimate, I guess, of the Storm Chaser's talent.
I should have just leveled up my storm thing first and whatever. Draw.
Alright, it sounds like Omar just realizing I should have just level 3'd first. No land yet this turn.
I finished this on your end. Right. Yeah, so we're good?
Yes.
Okay. Lands.
Basically, with this
3. Yeah, fetch again. 5.
Okay, fetch and go into 5. Gonna level 3 the Storm Chaser's talent. So now it's at level 3.
Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you make
Instant or sorcery only.
instant or sorcery, you get a prowess otter.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever Omar casts an instant or sorcery now, Omar will get a 1/1 blue and red otter with prowess.
I think I need to
Camera got bumped a little bit here. Sorry about that.
your end step.
End step fetching.
Cut whenever you're ready, by the way. Thank you.
Looking for Mystic Sanctuary.
That makes sense.
And
Do I see a Witherbloom command in my future?
yeah, I think I'm going to put the Witherbloom on top.
Okay, with the Bloom command moving to the top of the library makes a lot of sense here. Could be a way to get rid of the Storm Chaser's talent. That's kind of an emergency.
And I will. Yes, attempt to cast it.
Force pitch.
attempt to cast it.
All right, Force of Will, pitching Storm Chaser's talent, trigger the talent, make an otter. Is that a Pokemon card? What is that?
Tap, draw. Oh, I think that is as good as it gets, actually. This talent ain't big enough, targeting just my Storm Chaser's talent.
Okay, this town ain't big enough. Is being cast here. Bouncing the Storm Chaser's talent, making an otter.
This is in the graveyard. Replay Storm Chaser's talent.
This deck here we got 90% of the time it's just like a board fight.
Force.
Yeah.
I imagine so.
Two of these guys.
Okay, replays the Storm Chaser's talent. Picks up this town ain't big enough with the Storm Chaser's talent level 2. I think we're miscounting prowess here. I think there should be 2 and 1, right? One of the otters was created when this town ain't big enough was cast.
And then I'm going to swing for 3.
No, it doesn't matter. Swing for 3. Pass the turn.
And you have how many cards in hand?
2.
Okay, 2 cards in hand. Okay, so the die on the other otter, which is represented by that like black token, is just representing 2 otters, it seems. Okay, so I thought they were trying to show prowess. Makes sense that there's 2 otters. Another one was created when Storm Chaser's talent was entering again. Murktide region here.
Tap, draw. No cards in hand?
No cards in hand for Cat Party. Has a Murktide. It's getting bounced with Storm Chaser's talent. With this town ain't big enough. Storm Chaser's talent gets played again.
2 non-summoning sick and 1 summoning sick, right? No, 2 summoning sick.
You
No.
have 2 of each, yeah. Or no, you have.
Oh, no,
it's
no.
just
3 and
me
1. 3 and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are 3 old otters, 1 new otter. So the black otter is representing summoning sick. Level 1 Storm Chaser's talent on the battlefield. Attack for 6. There's 1 prowess trigger on them.
Right? Town and Storm Chasers, yeah.
Oh, 2 prowess triggers on them.
No, it's 9. 3 times 3. Oh, geez, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, didn't level up Storm Chaser there. These otters are going to hit pretty hard. There are 4 otters on the battlefield.
Yeah, so I'll concede here. Yes, I don't think there's.
All right, game 1 goes to Omar. Omar up a game. Storm Chaser's talent made a whole bunch of otters. Yeah, I'm not sure if Omar should have bounced the Storm Chaser's talent on level 3, but it worked out.
It doesn't exist.
Let's see how we get on 6.
There are times where I've like fucked up and I've forgotten like I milled it or someone milled it from me and I needed it.
I get to put it back. I'll put that back. Start us off. Yep. Results.
That's risky.
It is.
All right, game 2 on the play. Turn 1 ponder.
I'm just fucked. I can't.
I'm just gonna best choice.
I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna start.
Time to ponder.
And a ponder for Omar. Lots of cantripping happening.
Stack like that and draw. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the combo is.
Okay, Tropical Island. Up the beanstalk. Dion says, moved to Budapest recently, found a local legacy scene, met a guy who plays an old booster pack sleeves, told him I only saw them on these streams, responded that he was shown on one of your streams. Cool to know. Very cool. 90s MTG spreading sleeve knowledge, I guess.
You have your group?
Okay, well, this complicates things. Touch 19. Sorry. Drop.
So there's an up the beanstalk on Cat Party side. Now a carpet of flowers on Omar's side. Battle of enchantments, I guess. Green enchantments. Carpet of flowers. Make 2 mana here. Up the Beanstalk for Omar. Pretty good. All right, Omar has more green enchantments than Cat Party has.
Draw, so I did make my life up this turn. Go ahead.
Passing it back.
Maybe you'll deck yourself.
Withable commands. The moves will be.
Okay, firing off a Witherbloom command.
I think I'll attempt to actually blow that up.
Okay.
And then I will mail myself Eternal Land.
There's an opportunity here, maybe miss to Wasteland and then Witherbloom command. Brainstorm in response to the Witherbloom command. Omar with cards facing different directions in the deck. Very interesting.
Putting 2 back. Resolves. So this is blown up.
Okay, Carpet of Flowers gets blown up. The mill happening now. Gonna return a Misty Rainforest to hand. Yeah, I think Wastelanding before the Witherbloom command would have been a lot better. Yeah, they're. That might have been a big missed opportunity there. We'll see how this plays out. Double Wasteland could have been huge here. Over the course of 2 turns. Potentially later on. Mystic Sanctuary, back that command. Wasteland again. It's a little bit later on, but...
Just 5.
I'm gonna. This town ain't big enough. My own Beanstalk turn. Beanstalk.
Okay, this town ain't big enough. Bouncing his own Beanstalk. Okay.
Playing on Wizard. Go.
Play a Misty Rainforest.
And we see right now, if Cat Party had that Wasteland back, blowing up Trop here, or maybe there's a case for blowing up Savannah, probably not, would have been really good. Just sink Omar here. All right, 2 mana, play the Beanstalk again. Based on what we've seen in Omar's deck, there was no reason to play around Daze. This deck does not have Daze. Force pitching Brainstorm. Force of Will back with the Beanstalk trigger on the stack. Force pitching Murktide. A fight over this up the Beanstalk.
Stack.
Well, no, there's no trigger on the stack. This is still on the stack.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Brainstorm resolving here. Looking for other ways to react to an up the Beanstalk from Omar. Spell Pierce, okay. I'm assuming just okay. Everything's done.
Am I gonna play a lane at this turn?
I've made 3, 4, so I don't think you can make a land drop.
Go ahead.
In your turn.
Okay, end step fetch from Cat Party. Might be looking to surveil. We'll see.
Can't counter it, so
Go to combat.
A card that could potentially end up mattering quite a bit in this match that hasn't mattered much so far as Bullmaster. We also haven't seen any Tamios, right? Okay. Island dumped into the graveyard with Surveil from Hedge Maze. Cat Party currently with the green enchantment advantage.
Misty. And I'll pass. Draw.
Lands. The Teamer Siege. So, or not the Teamer one. I'm gonna choose there's 2 modes.
Yeah, I have the same card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget which one it is. Which the Teamer is the mill. So you're choosing Teamer?
I'm gonna choose Sultai.
Sultai, yeah. So that's the Crucible.
Yeah.
With that on the stack,
Okay.
I will attempt to cast an Endurance.
That resolves. Target me.
Target you.
I'll put 3/7.
Okay, that was Glacier Wood Siege. We're choosing Teamer.
Me or you?
And I have played a land.
Is it up to?
It's up to you. I don't have to.
So you don't have to do anything?
I'm gonna cast Endurance like
End your turn. This. Mr. Sanctuary. Yep.
go to 2.
What would be the target?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's going to be a bargain.
Okay. That's a solid one. No, you're good.
Take it. Trigger Beanstalk.
Attacking with endurance, accepting the damage. Delusional Kraut says Bean Mechanic was a mistake. Yeah.
Time to cast bargain. Trigger.
It's all good.
So I draw first?
Yep.
So it's counter.
That was all good.
I will do this and
I'm pretty sure for the Glacierwood Siege, Omar chose Teamer, which means whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, target player mills 4 cards. I think that's what Omar chose.
Into your hand or for that.
Oh, I was just wondering if you go.
He said Sultai?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if Sultai was chosen, then it's basically a Crucible of Worlds. You may play lands from your graveyard. Thank you, chat, for helping out on that.
Maybe I should have just gone a lounge.
Sometimes it's hard to catch things. Xander's Lounge gets found on end step. It gets wasted immediately. With the Crucible on the board, that's not the biggest play of wastelanding it, but it's something.
I'll play a Flutter Strand out of my graveyard.
All right, confirmed. Glacier Siege, named Sultai. Thank you, chat. Swords on the Endurance. Endurance is gone. Where is the advantage bar right now, chat? Is it right down the middle? Does anyone have an obvious advantage in your eyes? To the left, to the right?
Sure.
No creatures on the board, but both players have green enchantments. Another green enchantment, and up the beanstalk for Cat Party. Second one. I think Cat Party has the green enchantment advantage. Pluto Delta gets cracked here.
Resolves.
Okay, Earl resolves. Enters a trigger will happen.
I will.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So we spotted a win con. Uro could potentially swing for the victory here. Hedge Maze, Surveil for Omar, who can play lands from the graveyard with the Glacier Wood Siege.
I'll try to sword some Sorry, I sold your dice.
Put them on top.
Still.
Untap. Draw.
Go ahead. You're at 20.
Play from the graveyard.
Okay, Flooded Strand gets played from the graveyard. Pass the turn. Looks like Omar's holding an Endurance.
Still in my main phase. Endurance.
Cards in hand?
Two.
2 cards in hand.
Go.
Endurance. 2 cards in hand for Omar. Looks like it's Tundra Force. Force pitching Uro. Endurance is countered. Cat Party draws 2 cards. I think if you're rooting for Sultai here, we just jumped ahead quite a bit as Sultai. Once Uro escapes, Omar could be in big trouble. Falling behind on cards. Yeah, the advantage seems to have swung firmly towards Cat Party. I agree with that. That was a big force of will on the Endurance. Escaping Uro now. Omar has no response.
Draw.
Omar also at 12 life. It's not going to take many attacks from Uro to complete this game. Omar needs removal. There's a Swords in the graveyard. Mystic Sanctuary might be in the mix here. Could be a way for Omar to deal with Uro. Okay, fetching. Nope, no fetch. Ponder off the top. Looks like Omar found a Storm Chaser's talent and a Leyline Binding. Okay, Leyline Binding could be important here. Land for turn is Xander's Lounge out of the graveyard. Leyline Binding for 1 mana.
No.
Your turn, crack these?
Yep.
Ponder.
Yep.
Especially before.
Glacial Wood Siege is the card allowing Omar to play lands from the graveyard. Sultai was chosen. Endurance.
Target myself.
Okay, targeting ourselves, putting the graveyard on the bottom. Uro has been exiled by Leyline Binding. It seems unlikely to come back anytime soon. Endurance can attack. Omar has a Force and a Tundra in hand.
Combat.
Yeah.
3.
3.
Then cast a Ponder.
Who else?
This has been a grind.
Draw.
Make another construct. Okay. Sorry, my OCD's still Get a search.
Looks like there's a Rakshas's Bargain in hand here. Casting that could put Cat Party way ahead on cards.
Trigger.
Yep.
Draws 2 off the Beanstalk, then resolving the Rakshas's Bargain.
Take this. Ponder Carpet.
Okay, a Ponder and a Carpet of Flowers dumped into the graveyard. Those aren't super important right now.
Swing 6.
It's the Delta, and I.
Oh, sorry. 3 only because this just.
Camera's getting bumped quite a bit. It's really the table shaking quite a bit. Sorry about that, everybody.
Alright, untap. Draw.
If you want.
Fetch down at 8.
Wrong way.
All right, fetching down to 8 with the Flooded Strand.
I'll pass it to you.
Islands.
Ponder.
Okay, here's a Ponder for Omar.
2 in hand.
2 cards.
Bowmaster.
Milk green.
Cast
Land,
possible.
targeting myself.
Bowmaster gets responded, but with a force of will. Spell Pierce.
All this one.
Okay.
Okay, Cat Party will take game 2. We are moving on to game 3, it sounds like.
I'll try to exile it.
Sorry, I'm trying to go as fast as I can.
I'll name wizards.
Yep.
I'll pass it.
Alright.
10 stuff.
6. 7. I'll keep this.
Okay, Omar has kept 7.
Sorry.
Mystic Sync?
Go ahead.
Xander's Lounge, pass the turn.
But,
My turn?
with the gloom back.
Wasteland. Blowing up Xander's Lounge is pretty big. Underground Sea, pass the turn.
I'm gonna try.
Both games of this match so far have been a grind. I'm guessing we are getting close to time in the round. Up the Beanstalk for Omar. Fetch and response. Okay, Spell Pierce counters the Up the Beanstalk. Not bad.
Did you go to my turn? With one command, destroy, mill 3.
Destroy what?
I mill.
No gimbals on the cameras yet.
Play a land.
There's a brainstorm for Omar. Response, Bowmaster. Bowmaster will resolve. It gets swords. You still get an orc army here. Brainstorm resolving.
So I have played a land this turn. Those two back.
All right. Omar has a. Okay. Omar has a. Sorry. Cat Party has a 1/1 orc army.
I'll
Okay, another wasteland hitting the tundra. Wastelands could be pretty effective here.
Life from the Loam. Target.
Well, never mind. Light from the Loam. Return Xander's Lounge, Tundra, Flooded Strand. Brainstorm in response. How does 5-color beans compare to 4-color beans? I mean, this is mostly a 4-color deck. It has a Xander's Lounge to get that extra discount on Leyline Binding, let's say. But we're not going to see I don't know, some red card.
Truly matters who you think has on this one.
Minimal black, minimal red. Mostly Bant.
Take it.
Get a wasteland.
I'll float a colorless.
I'm gonna buy.
Cards in hand?
There's a force fire.
Yeah.
6.
Okay.
6 cards in Omar's hand.
Ponder.
Yeah, it's kind of like 5-color Bant beans. We could see 4/3 Lingus. We could see Pyroblast. I don't know, but those are really the only red cards we could possibly see, in my mind.
Tap. Draw.
5. You know about yours.
But we're not going to see, like, I don't know. What would be a red beans card? We're not going to see Furies or anything like that.
Land for turn. I'm gonna fetch twice. Yeah, both the basics.
All right, going for basics now. Basic island, basic plains. Kind of shows what I was talking about as far as the main colors in this deck. Now Uro, okay. Yeah, we're not going to see Omnath in here.
Sure. Draw a card.
Uro will resolve, put a land into play, pass the turn.
Combat.
Yep.
4 for 1.
Take it. Oh shit. I was at 17.
17, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, redirect it to.
All right. We need a table judge.
Resolve in response to the ETB. I'm gonna fetch and plow. So 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total of 3. 9, yeah.
Okay, Uro getting swords with his enters ability on the stack. I don't think we're gonna see Flage appear in this match. That doesn't seem likely to me. I can almost guarantee there are no Flages.
Pretty good.
No, I'll just draw.
Okay, Omar will draw.
The Sultai Siege.
Yes.
Glacierwood Siege again, naming Sultai. Can play lands from the graveyard.
Play land in the graveyard.
Robert with a question. Opinions on Wizards not supporting judges anymore. I really don't have an opinion on the matter. I'm sorry. I just don't know enough about it. Force pitching Ponder. Stormchaser's talent makes an otter.
Go ahead. Turn 1. Draw.
Okay, we've hit extra turns. This is turn 1 of extra turns now. Attacking for 1. Omar drops to 13. Given Cat Party's life total, I think it's safe to say Cat Party won't lose this game. It seems. Murktide, though, Omar might be in trouble. Looks like it's an 8-8 Murktide.
Pass the turn.
That's up 12.
Stormchaser's talent could level up and retrieve something from the graveyard. Hedge Maze here surveilling his Omar. I don't remember right now if there's a Swords of Plowshares in the graveyard. If there is, level 2, pick that up. Could be a play here for Omar.
Mill that. Untap this turn.
Okay, Rachel confirming that there is likely a Swords of Plowshares in the graveyard. Looks like Omar's hand is Stormchaser's Talent and Estrid's Invocation, I think.
That's so weird. Whatever.
Response.
I think that's what's in Omar's hand.
Level up to 2. Attempt to pick up Source of Plowshares.
Okay, level up the Stormchaser's Talent, trying to return Swords to Plowshares. Let's see if this works. It does work. Will it resolve when it targets the Murktide?
Yeah.
Omar's at 12. All right, Omar might have just saved himself big time here, getting rid of that Murktide. Plays another Stormchaser's Talent, gets another Otter.
Go ahead.
Pass to you.
Oh, okay. I'm not killing. I think at this point I'm playing for.
Yeah, I agree with Omar here. There's really no point in attacking. We're playing to protect ourselves from a game loss. Cat Party just has too much life. Otters are going to be on blocking duty. Surveils a carpet of flowers into the graveyard.
I'm gonna do a couple of these tournaments.
This is turn 3 of extra turns now. Looks like Cat Party's holding Uro. It'll be too slow, it seems.
What's your hand?
Bargain.
Goes for Rakshasa's Bargain.
I mean, can't kill me, and unless the top card's a 4.
Not even another Murktide right now could guarantee a win. Trying to think if there's any way. It doesn't seem like it. We're likely headed towards a draw. Attack with the Orc Army, why not?
Yeah, I'll pass.
Untap.
Okay, Omar will accept the damage. I might have just even blocked there. Goes up to 4. Turn 4. Casting the Invocation, it seems.
Estrid, copy, Stormchaser's Talon.
I will attempt to force that.
That resolves.
Force a will on the Estrid's Invocation.
I was really hoping to go for it. Force backup surgical.
Delusional says, Chris, do you have a separate preference for decks to play at longer tournaments with 6+ rounds? Not really. I'll play a control deck or a grindy deck. Over the past 2 years, 3 years, though, I have tended to play something a little bit more explosive most of the time.
Can he kill me this turn? Probably
If I didn't feel like I had it covered, I would have just forced.
Can't even remember now the last time I top 8'd an event, what deck I was playing. Don't remember. I never did with Maverick, unfortunately, I don't think. Got close multiple times. Never got there.
This is the saddest thing I could ever do with these cards.
Turn 5.
Turn 5.
Listen, the bargain can't always.
I lost like 3 win-ins with Maverick over the course of 3 months. That is the match. It ends in a draw as we predicted. GG's. GG's. Is there anything exciting from the new set from Maverick? Not that I've seen, there's so many Final Fantasy spoilers that I just completely missed. I'll have to look through at some point. Yeah. All right, everybody. That wraps it up for me for today. Stick around for a raid. I'll see everybody soon. Make sure you're in the Discord. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Peace out.